Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're celebrating 1,500 subscribers. It hit me so sudden. I was at 1,400 and then I don't know what happened with the quad fold outs, but everybody must have loved those. So it boosted me up like almost immediately. So I'm catching up. I'm almost to 1,600 now, but we're going to have a drawing. I'm not putting that into the description. I mean, not the description box. I'm not putting that into the title because, I just want it to be for my people that watch me and want to participate. So, we're going to do the sneaky peek, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to come up with for the 1,500. Now, remember I said the 1,500, I'll probably do a smaller type version of journal, and then with the, 1,000 ones, I usually do a larger journal. Okay, this is some of the freebies from Scrapbooking with Me. I love teapots. I love teacups, and I collect them. I don't do anything with them. I just collect them. But here's a little goodie with a bling inside of it. And I did I think a C-shaped glue here. So it slid in there and stayed. And then I've got a tiny heart rub on here. Now this I have shown you before. There is um, a video on it. And I will link that at the end for you. Uh, but it's a fan. And I did it in one of my early books for myself, and then I made mom one for hers here. But it's got a doily edge on it. I don't know where I got these doilies, but I'm like totally out of them. But I think they were Wilton's, the cake decorating kind of company. So they may have more intricate looking doilies than what you can find at the Dollar Tree and stuff. And that's about the only place I can find them anymore. But the way I glued it down was the base is totally glued here, but I only glued at each one of the intersections here. So you're able to go into each one of these pockets, and it can go way down in there when you get up here tall because it goes all the way down to this base here. You just have to watch you don't run into anybody else like I just did there. So, um, these were just some of the collage kind of tags that I made way back then. This is actually a woven one. I don't know if you've gotten into doing any woven strips of paper, but they make interesting looking tags or journal cards even. So we're going to tuck this back down in here so you can see the pretty butterflies. And this one's snatching on something there. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show you today. This background, I did not run it through an embossing folder. It's actually from, I think it was Hobby Lobby, and I just got it that way. I really love it, the way it's got almost like a tapestry imprint on it. I really love it. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming to visit and see me and watch and comment and all those things, likes. Everything you do for me, it helps me greatly. All right, what we're doing is we're going to make this piece of Kroger junk mail into something interesting. Check this thing out. Isn't it cool? It folds out, and then it goes up, and it goes down. And I've still got a little bit of that gooey goo on it. You might want to get off of it. But yeah, it folds out like that. So that's going to be our back cover. This is going to be our front cover. Then we're going to cover it with items out of this book I got from Hobby Lobby. No, Michael's, sorry. Recollections, it's Michael's. It's the Dark Academia. I was using them for some of the grimoires and such that I was doing because the shop had requested me to do a few of those, so I did them. And anyhow, so I went through here. I really like the world here, so we're going to use that as the front cover. So it's not pretty, but, it'll have, and it won't be grungy. It's kind of like in the middle. This will be my inside page, and then I think I'll put this maybe midway through to give it more structure inside of the signature kind of a deal. Plus, it'll look like somebody had written in it. So, that's what we're going to do. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. Now, with the papers, I had this one It was called sorry, not Old. It was Basic. It was Basic Journal by My Porch Prince on Etsy. And I really liked the butterflies, of course. So it gave you a little bit of color and a little bit of something focal. It has like a trademark book page kind of a situation here. We have, and each in the backs also have something. It's got a little bit of a plant on it, but that wasn't that much to really detract from the theme I was going for. Here was kind of a grungy page, another grungy page. That one's got like a wax seal letter situation envelope. And then this one kind of, it choked on me going through. But I think I can fix it. I don't think it'll hurt anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of these down that has this white border on it. And I'm going to mix it with a few of these. So it's going to be a little journal. This was some of that paper that I did out in the yard this summer. And I used acrylic paint. I saw a girl do it, and she explained how, and I tried it. Mine didn't quite turn out like hers, but I'm pretty happy with it. I had a tea dye or a coffee dye base, and then I put some black acrylic paint in there, and then you dipped your paper in, and then you laid it out in the grass. And you can see that I laid it in the grass because of this imprint on it. I love that technique. I need to try it with a few other colors. This was just something that I dyed, coffee dyed, I guess, and then I kind of flicked a few colors on there. This is one of my earlier works where I took, it's tea mostly. So I had tea bags and I had tea grounds. I think with this one, I laid tea bags over top, and this is where I was putting them layer upon layer and laying them out on the deck and letting them dry, layer at a time. Now I have this cool metal glider out on the deck, and that's what I actually did. I laid this on there while it was still wet, and it has these holes in it, and it took the impression of those holes with the darker color. I'm still a novice at this dyeing and getting that coffee dyed look and everything. I just all right, these were a bunch of pages that I just laid out, that just white copy paper. And I sprayed them with a bunch of my mica sprays and a few other ones, just to give it some color. I'll have a little color in the book. So I'll get those all arranged, cut down, and ready to go by the time we have this cover assembled. Oh my goodness. It was a busy day yesterday. Very busy. I went and had to take the kitty to the vet. My husband, of course, went with me. We tag team. Oh, she gave us a musical all the way there. Where is my pencil? Oh, I know where my pencil is. I've been drawing a map for our cemetery book. Oh, what did I do with it? There it is. Okay. So, we had to take her and try to get them to figure out what's going on with her. I think she has an inner ear. I think that's what that is. Now, I'm not going to be able to see my pencil mark on this side, so I'm kind of laying my pencil there and marking it, because this is a white white background. So I'm going to cut that down first, and then we'll see what we need to do after that, because I'm not sure how wide this is. I think it's 6. Yes, it's 6 inches, so that's going to actually take the whole width. So good on that. Plus, we're going to take a little bit of this out and use it somewhere. And I think everything else is going to kind of get cut down. I may make a pocket or something with some of the rest of it. Okay, I've taken this and I've scored it and folded it in half. So it'll be ready for the cover. I need to strengthen this score line here because of the folding in and out. Plus, I'm going to be putting thread with the signature through there. This is washi from Walmart. And I got it, and I thought that would be a perfect color for this. So we're going to open that up and get into it, if it'll let us. Yeah, I was, I had looked at the 1400. I had just posted the quad fold outs, and they were starting to pick up speed. It was almost like they were like a snowball that went downhill. It it just picked up speed so fast. And I could only look, you know. You could only like stare at it like an ugly scene unfolding in front of you, and you had no control over it. But I shouldn't say ugly because it was wonderful. I have never had that kind of thing happen. I did have another time when they really loved these little Victorian ladies. I did like a year back, I think it was, and they went up really high in views. And I know I've heard, now if you're into doing videos and such, back, and you're new at it, back when I started, I was watching all of those people tell us how to go about getting all of our subscribers and viewers and get out there where people could see us, that type of thing. Well, you know, I've tried it all, but it didn't seem to be working like it was supposed to, or like I was supposing it would. So I do remember them saying if you was to have a very popular video, to let it set for a day or two, three, four, you know, because the longer you let it set and the more it grew, the more they were showing it. You know how Facebook is, I mean, not Facebook, but YouTube is, with showing your items, and, you know, you don't really feel like they're getting you out there or anything, but when they start to go really popular like that, they will. So if you get one in the future that even gets a couple hundred views, just let it sit for another day and see. It should get out there a whole lot more. All right, so we're going to get in here. That's the back. I need to go this way. Looks like my cover is not quite there, or something is happening where it's not quite there. So what we're going to do is probably just cut this down just a nubbin, so I will have this clear the cover. Okay, I'm going to put down this back of one of my paper pads I went through, just to help myself not have to clean my cover down here so often. But yeah, I've never figured out the deal with what makes something go, you know, viral like that. I guess you could call mine viral. It's a low-key viral compared to some of these other ladies. But yeah, it's very interesting to try to figure out how that all works. But it's never made sense to me. I've had other Stamperia paper videos, and I thought, you know, that might be the key. But they didn't do what this one did. Maybe it was the idea of the type of fold it was. The folds are in now. If you haven't noticed, the folds are in. Everybody's doing some kind of a fold out, a paper bag, or something along those lines. They're really, really popular. And I guess if you stuck with me this far, I will go into the details of how you could get into the drawing for this little guy. And what I would like to tell you is to make a comment below in this video, and I'll give a week. This is actually the 31st. I'm filming this, so I will have it out tomorrow, the 1st of February, and I'll give you to the 7th midnight to make a comment. And I'd like to, I guess I'd like to have you comment how you found me. That would be the most interesting thing to me, is figure out how you found me to watch. And yeah, I'd like that. So, and if you'd like to add in there something you might like to see, I wouldn't mind that as well. Give me something in the future to think about doing for you. Oops. I'm using fabric tack on here because I figured that would get it on here the best. But I'm also trying not to get it so covered that I can't go over here with my next cover. But it does a really good job of covering. I'm saying cover too many times, aren't I? All right. So we're going on here with this one. And this, for a small journal like this should really strengthen it up. And, you could use it as a notepad. You could just use it beside your bed to give, like, you get ideas at night or by the TV. I sometimes do that. I'll have ideas that'll fly by me, especially if I'm watching a video, somebody else's video. It'll give me an idea. And I want to write it down or sketch it out or something. So that's what I usually will do. And that they could use this for that. All right, let me get that on there because it's kind of leaky. All right, and then I'm going to put that down like that. Push it down from this end. I really like this paper. I love anything to do with the world. It's got like the old world quality look to it. That's why I thought that might appeal to more of you. I mostly have, or I do, from my analytics, only have female female watchers. And most of them are like, I think from the 40s up in age. So I think that this might qualify to be the most impressive or likable to the watchers that I have. Okay. I guess a little bit of that squares out, but that's okay. It's just on the edge. Now, got to get our inside done. I had thought to use that plain one for the inside cover, but I think I'm going to go with this one. I like this one a lot better. So we're going to get in here and see if we can get us a mark. We can always cut down. So you want to go a little larger on that, you can. And I know it's 6 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it at that. Yeah, see, there's my mark. I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, I cut that down. It's just a little bit taller, so I can trim that away. And for this piece, this 6-inch piece, I figured out where I needed to cut it so it would rest on each one of these. Now, when I go to glue it down, I'm going to glue it along the top edge here and let that excess hang off so I can trim it easier. So that's the way we're going to go about it. Now, if you wanted to get in here and do some inking, you can. I'm not going to worry about it because, I have some people that I don't guess like inking. But I think it will hold its own. I think it will. So we're going to put this one on the back cover and put it down. And sometimes you don't want to go all the way out to the outside edge because when you push this down with your bone folder, it will spread. So also think about that. I'm also, if you're wondering how this is going to be put together, and always watch your folds. Make sure you don't put it too close to your fold. I'm going to make this a policy closure, and I'm going to use up some of these pieces I have over here to make the little buttons. I guess you'd call it a button. I love policy closures. I remember seeing, those made early on in my journey of junk journals. Oh, maybe that's something we could discuss. Junk journals. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people that there's arguments out on what a junk journal is. I know I've explained this before, what I've read and seen, and what I feel in myself. Well, a lot of people would say the type of journals I do aren't exactly junk journals. They're more of an art journal because you are creating art out of paper. You are not really using junk. Though I must admit, I do use a lot of junk, like right here is good. It is a good proof. A lot of my covers are made with pizza boxes or cat food boxes, that type of thing. So I call that junk. And then my papers are just basic copy paper, yet I will go in and I'm creating a color on them out of either tea or coffee dye, or I'm using these Wilton gel icing colors that I've had for ages. And you can use those to get other things like yellows and oranges and pinks and that kind of thing. There's so many different things you could use, but the basis of it is the copy paper, and it's just junk. Now, you might use paper, wrapping paper that comes out of a shoebox, or packaging where somebody shipped you something you ordered from Amazon. I call all that junk. I mean, where's it going to go? Usually it goes in the trash, or sometimes you can put them in the fire. So you have to look at it like that. Now, I do admit I should have put something right in there in that middle, and I didn't. But I can actually go in here and put a marker. I can lift these open and put like a marker or something in there. Or we can just put washi across it. We can still do that. Okay, after we get our background paper. Oh, that's true. I still have a paper I need to put back here. Maybe that's where that clear paper can go. All right, so back to junk journaling. We have a big frou-ha-ha about that. So what do you think? Now, I would say a lot of people think a junk journal is what you would make out of total nothing but junk. I'm going to have to make a policy closure to close this too, because it's already kind of pushing against me, but that's okay. I think you have to train your paper. So, yeah, that's it. You would either take, like, when I was trying to figure out if anybody else in my town knew what a junk journal was, I went and Googled about it, and you can do that and see if anybody actually has anything to do with junk journaling in your town. Well, a lady was giving classes. She gave like 4 of them, one a week through 1 month. And you were to bring things like newspaper, magazine, this, that, and the other to the class to build your junk journal with. So that was her terminology of a junk journal. And then you would build off of that. That would be your base. Then you can do whatever you needed to do to the rest of your papers by decorating them, painting them, doodling on them. A lot of people do a lot of different things. So yeah. So that was their terminology of a junk journal. I've also heard, and this is the one I like the best, that a journal, I started journaling in what was it, elementary school. We had an English teacher. She made us sit there and journal for 5 minutes at the beginning of the class. You had your own little notebook for that. And that's what we had to do. It stuck with me. I journaled all the way up through my 20s and such. Talking about my travels, doing my genealogy and, just this, that, and the other. So they talk about junk journaling as getting the junk out of your mind. Especially if you're a troubled person, you got too much to think about, certain things that are bothering you. It's healthier to get it out on paper, out of your mind. And that is true. Because I will think, oh, what do I need to write on my grocery list? I'll think of something, but I don't go in there and write it down right away. Well, crap, I'll forget it if I don't. So it preys on my mind. If you go in there and write it down, eases your mind right away, doesn't it? So that's my best thought on what a junk journal is. It's just clearing out your mind of all the excess junk. I like rounded edges, so we went ahead and rounded those. We may do a soft round out here on the edge. Just a soft one. Just so the point doesn't get in our way. I don't know that I can actually do one here on the back cover because of that flap, so we won't. Alright, what's next? Any more cleanup? Now we can get in here with a little bit of ink if we want to and just kind of clean up those edges just to darken them so the white doesn't stare at you. You know, who wants white to stare at them when they got like a sort of a old antique looking look going on? All right. Yeah, I did wonder when I first started if art journaling wasn't what I wanted to do. And I did try that. It just didn't speak to me, I don't guess. I didn't get into it the way I really got into junk journaling. I really liked doing the ephemera. I liked coming up with things, things that I saw that inspired me and made me want to do another idea off of that. I jump started off of a lot of videos. I would see something and I'd think, oh, I want to try that, but I want to try this with it instead. And wow, that that really gets you going. I mean, talk about using your imagination and really feeling good and thinking, you know, oh, this is something different. I need to share this with people too. So that's where I got around to doing videos. I think the first video I did was where we were over in West Virginia, and we had this idea, and I always liked the idea of going and videoing, going up a creek or going through a town or something like that, and you're saying what you see, you're telling people where something was and it's not there anymore. So we kind of did that for our cemeteries, going up this one creek. Well, the thing was like 20 minutes long, and little did I know on Facebook you couldn't record or post anything that was over, what is it, 10 or 15 minutes? Or maybe not even that anymore. So I had to post it to YouTube, and I had to share the link. So that was the deal there. Well, that got me to thinking, well, you know, maybe I want to share some more of my videos and ideas out there. So that's what happened. That's what I did. Oh, what happened there? Oh, did I need to trim it? Oh, I need to trim something here. What's going on up there? I think this top part needs to be trimmed. Okay, now I've taken and cut down. I didn't think you needed to see me go through the measuring and stuff of this, but this is to go on this back inside area where it's going to be hidden. And I'm going to put it down, I think like this. I'm trying to match up the pattern just a wee bit. I don't think there's any way to fix that. Okay, we'll go that way. So I'm going to go down again with some of the fabric tack, just to give it a good firm adhesion. And I found some more washi. I think that one washi is really thick, and I don't want to hinder these little flaps at the back, but I do want to give them a little tiny bit of strength. So I found one with some kind of a star pattern on it. So we're going to see what we can do with that and see if it'll help. I went ahead and rounded the upper corner so I wouldn't have to deal with that. Oh, that was a little bit of a mess there a minute ago. I had to go through and fix all that, where I didn't trim off that top, and it came back and bit me, in other words. Oh my goodness. Okay. Of course, I didn't make that quite big enough, but that is okay. That is okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to put on here to do a little bit of decoration. And I do have a compass over here. I thought I could stamp on the front and the bottom there, just for something to look at as you open. All right. I've always found the easiest way to do this is to do the inside, then go out here and do your outside real quick to put it down, because it dries fast. So fast. Okay. Put that one on here. Make sure I'm clearing all my creases. up to the edge. Yeah. I absolutely love this bone folder. And I got it at Hobby Lobby clearance. But I did see them at Michael's yesterday. And it's got a point and it's got the rounded end. But I love it to scoot, and press around your glue underneath your item. And it does a really good job of training your paper to, crease as well. I got a few goodies to show you here at the end. I have a few items that I've completed in my makings. Now I admit that with the Victorian ladies on the silverware pockets, I only got 2 done. And then I go and I decorate them a little bit more after the fact. I always do that. So you're going to get to see those today, in case you didn't get to see the total product. I mean, you can see it on the thumbnail, but that's so far away. I always like to give you an up close and personal, like a slideshow, I call them. Okay, goodness, that sticky wicket. Yeah, this stuff, it gets out, it gets everywhere. So sometimes you can take a like an eraser. They have a special eraser for this as well. I think Scrapbooking with Me, they were just advertising that they had one. Oh, is that Lorette Chandler? They're getting up a new site. They're getting off of Etsy. Etsy is like losing everybody because they're so stingy, I guess would be the word. I'm not sure exactly what is going on with them. They're running a lot of good people off. Just the fees are so bad. That's why I never got on there to try to sell anything. The fees. Oh. I tried to figure out, I think, how much it would cost me if I was to put like a $60 or $80 journal on there. Like, probably, I think it was 80. If I was to put an $80 journal on there, how much I would actually make out of it. And I think I would only be making 60. So, that's why a lot of the people on there had to go up in price. All right, I'm going to put that there. Yeah. Put one here. This is the year of using up. If I need to use this up, I'm going to use it up. Because I may do it on the outside as well. I only have a little bit left. All right, so let's go down through here with a little bit of glue to help hold it. I always like to help hold it. And this is you might not have seen this because this is where the signature is actually going to go in. But, I like to cover all my bases. And, you might see it through the paper on the edges. Plus, why not beautify it? Because this is my appreciation to all of you. Of course, I usually will draw old school. I don't do that generator thing. I put all the names in a bucket. It's the only way I know to do it. I'm not technologically advanced. Let's say that. All right, so we're going to go this way on top of here. I am going to put a few pockets back here with some of this excess paper I have. So that will use up some of that. Plus, you might want to sneak up some little goodies back in here that you don't want anybody to see. You might have some receipts or little secret notes, some pictures, those kind of things. See if I can get this on here straight. Straight enough. All right. I can cut that off at the end. Yeah, our hot day really spoiled us because now it's in the 40s anymore. Ugh. Mom, she's already getting antsy. She was out there working in her garden. That woman, you can't keep her out of that thing. think she said she was prepping some of her stuff that she wanted to have, or some of the items that bloom early. She was staking items up, and gosh, what am I trimming on there? Something's sticking out because it's trimming away. I'm just going all the way up through here, aren't I? Okay. It wanted to come off, so I'll let it. Okay. And we're going to have to throw a little bit ink back on there because I didn't ink up all these edges while we were off screen. Just to have them done. Okay. Do I need to put anything on the outside? Got to retrain. Retrain. Ooh, it's not wanting to close. It's not wanting to close. I wonder if I can throw in another score line in there. You can always do that as well. You can give it a 1/4 of an inch, an 1/8 of an inch score line in there, and that would close it. I don't think I see that I need any more of the washi tape, that is. So let's see, what are we going to do? I think we're going to see if we need any pockets back in here, and we're going to cut us some buttons. I call them buttons, these little guys, out of something. We want probably the darker color. I think that would be good. I thought that circle there would be kind of cool, but I don't think I'm going to get enough of it. Let's try it. What would that look like on there? Kind of gets wasted or lost, doesn't it? Let's go back to this. We're going to do this. We got us a person here. That's good. I think it's an angel. And then I got some guy's head right here. Go with that. And then any of the rest of it could just be fluff. Whatever you can get off of here. I like to do like 2 layers maybe. And we also need to make a layer or some of these for the outside. Okay, let's start gluing because I don't know how many I punched out. Oh, okay. So 3 maybe. I don't know if you've done policy closures in the past, but they're very easy to make. They're very useful in different areas of, like, inside your journal on pages, or you can use them. I think I need one more. Or you could use them on the outside like I'm sort of doing here. All right. Here's my other one. So I'll stack another 4. And each time you glue one, you want to like roll your finger around that outside edge to make sure that you've got them all even. And then push down. That's how I always do it. Well, I was trying to pick that one up. Maybe it had too much metallic on it. And then I go around the outside edge to darken it. It's getting kind of dark outside. Oh, it's always so doomy gloomy anymore, isn't it? Well, we're going on our trip the 8th to the 18th of March, and oh, I don't know if I'm ready. Last year was not very nice to me. I got sciatica on my way. Well, I tripped on something in March, and I got sciatica in my leg, Lifting up those big, heavy books at the courthouse. Oh my gosh. It was rough. Okay, I got my crocodile here. I want the small one. I don't think I want a big one for this one. Because this is mostly just to hold it together and have something for your string to go around. Now, if you wanted to, you could put both of these together. Like, I'm going to de-head that kid. You could put both of them together so you're guaranteed that the hole is in the same spot. I didn't do that, but the crocodile would be able to. All right, what we got in here? What do we want? I have some copper. I think copper would go good. I hardly use these little ones. I'm usually using the big ones. All right, put this in here. Oops. And this in here. Yeah, I can see that one's not quite right. It will. And then you got to get the right nose lined up. And I think that might be the right bottom. Okay. And you put it into there and squish it. Yeah, it does. It's never pretty on the back. I can tell you that. Mine are never pretty. They splay out, but that part's getting glued down, so it doesn't matter. All right, before we glue those down and get our string and everything attached, we want to do our compass in here. So I haven't used this one yet, but I loved this one. I saw him do something with it, and we're going to do a tag with it later on. But this is the one I want, and I'm going to be putting it right here at the top. And I don't maybe Voyage or, yeah, maybe I'll use Voyage or Artist Journal or something like that on here as well. So let's get this apart and get it ready using my VersaFine Pigment Onyx Black, giving a nice dark crisp image. And this is flat. It shouldn't give me any resistance on how I get the image to transfer. Make sure I get enough on there. Yeah, it has the moons and stuff down here. I want that a little darker. Maybe I need to rub that against that a little bit. They don't suggest you to rub it, but sometimes I do. Because I'm trying to get that ink to transfer. All right, I'm going to go right here. I think that's the middle. I put that right there. Let's see how she turns out. I think this is a Mariner's compass, but I think we do have ocean on here. So that might work. Yeah, that turned out really nice. And I'm going to take and put the word at the bottom there. And I don't think I need it on both, so I'll think of something else I can put down here. Let me put my word in here where it says Voyage. Will it fit on here? I think it will. Yeah, we'll make it fit. Yeah, it's always great to have different stamp blocks. There's quite a variety of them out there too. Okay, we're going to put Voyage right here. There we go. There we go. And while I'm at it, I'm going to take this and stamp it because we're going to put that on the front cover. Well, I got this stamp set out. We are going to find something to go on this bottom. I just don't know what as yet I want to put on there. Yeah, so this is going to go about right here. I can always cut it down. I'm going to use some of this as a darker background. So yeah. Okay, since this has to do with traveling and voyages, I had stamped this little guy a while back, and he's from one of the stamp sets. I can't remember the name. But anyway, I think he looks like he could be a conductor, a train, or a ship, or flying the airship over the ocean, that kind of thing. And then I've got these, which I thought might do well. Oh, Okay, sorry I had to get off. My little kitty's having issues. Yeah, I stamped this before. I thought he would look good here. We'll go ahead and glue him down. Remember, I had him off the back of an envelope or a piece of junk mail, and it had those stripes like you see on like important letters, the blue and the red. I used that on my paper bag journal I did. Okay, so we're going to stick him here, and then we're going to put a few of these stamps from correspondence on here. I really like this big one. I don't know if I've got enough room there now for it. And so I'm going to stick it over here. There is a smaller one, so maybe we could use the smaller one. I have the word postcard. Oh, here's special delivery. Let's use that one. Special delivery is good. And don't worry, our rounds are going on the outside. They're not going to go on the inside. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, we have that there. We'll have a handle with care. I think that's right set up. Yep. And then we have airmail stamp. Put that on there. Oh yeah, I like that stamp. And then we have this one. I think this will be good because it looks like it's going to be from his hand and he's pointing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just like that. There. And I always like to go for something that's not the same shape as what I'm working with, so we're going to go with this received one here. Kind of like right there. Yeah, that's good. Ties them all together. All right. Charge, special delivery. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, we're good with that. We're good with our top. That's good. We're going to put pockets in here, which will probably be 2 of these. I'm going to cut these down just a little bit. Okay, I cut these to like 2 1/4 tall and wide enough to go on there. And we're just going to give them a thumb punch right here around the center. Going to give them a little bit of inking, and then we're going to put them on there. The inking will help delineate the edges so you know where your pocket begins and ends. Do that for both of them. Now I'm going to do the signature and everything else off screen. I'm going to get it all together, and then when I come to the day of the drawing, February 7th, or February 8th, because you've got all the way through to the 7th, I'm going to be showing you what it ended up looking like. Because you know me, I'm always going to put something else on here. Twiddle-dee with something, add to it, who knows? You know me. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to say that it's only... The drawing is only available to this continent. So Canada and United States. I can't send stuff overseas. It's just too expensive. And I learned that with that 1,000 subscriber journal. Oh my God. I think I paid $80 to send that thing over there. That was a lot. I was surprised. It was Spain, so I haven't heard from that girl again. So I guess I know there's people on here that troll around just for drawings and stuff, and then you never hear from them again. And I think that's what happened. All right, we got our inside done. We got our pockets in. We're going to glue down our 2 buttons. Or actually, we shouldn't. I guess we're going to glue them down. I think the way I usually will do these is I do an extra punch. I think I've screwed them up. To tell you the truth. I think I usually will do an extra punch and punch them all the way through. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to redo my little doodaddies. But anyhow, they are going to go right here and right here. Because if I wanted to, I could have punched them all the way through this piece, but I have to hide it on the back side. Now, if I wanted to just glue them down, then what I'll do is I'll glue the 4 or 5 together like this, punch a separate one, and put on the back. Then I do the grommet or eyelet, and then I'm able to glue that whole back side down. That's how I need to do that. I messed it up. I'm sorry. But I do have something else here at the end to show you for this. And then I've got to show you my few little goodies that I got done. Now we're going to get in here and we're going to fix this art journal. Try to cut it straight. Yeah, that was straight. I got to try to get the other end to be straight. That's the only problem with this. When you get really close in over here. Okay, I think that's it. All right. And then I got that to do. And, oh, am I off screen? Always. I usually am. I thank Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy for giving me this. It was one of the Tonic Studios cutters, trimmers. I really appreciate it, Tommy. I love this thing. I love it. Okay, what I need to do is just cut this so I can get in here and maneuver with it. I'm still going to do something with this gold strip up here. I still intend to use it for something. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just glue this down. Get it on here. And this will be our front. Yeah, just like that. Then you get in here and you clean it up with your cutting. That, and then that. Yep, it's ready to go. Watch your fingers. That's the only thing. Watch your fingers. All right, so we're going to put this right here. That perfect spot. Yeah. Okay, get that down, then we can get to the showing of the last items. There we go. So, it takes me so long to get to somewhere, doesn't it? It just seems like it does. And all I did was cover papers. What in the world? All right, so our ladies, our Victorian ladies, you wanted to see those because you really didn't get a good view of them. Okay, here they are. But let me show you 2 at a time. These 2 were sort of the neutral ladies, and I did some rub on up there at the top to give a word. I've got beads, I've got bling I've not been using. I got lace on a lot of them. I used trims that I got from like Hobby Lobby. I've got bows. I bought those at Walmart. I got some pearls behind there and a gold braid. And it just, I was just adding. Now this one I experimented with, and I had this real sheer lace, and you can kind of see her. So I got a chance to use a little bit of that. This lady, I wanted to keep those few words on the left. I don't know why, but I wanted to. I tea-dyed or sprayed these down here to make them the color I needed them to be. Sometimes I was okay with it being white. I love this one. She reminds me of a musketeer. Now I got a project I'm going to use a few of these ladies on in the future. There's more of the rubber ones. I try to do the rubber ones on each one of them. I have a great big braid down here. And then we have these two ladies. Most of these you've seen in the pictures, either on my Rhoda's Junk page or on the Facebook or the YouTube. And then here's one that I made an extra one. I couldn't count. So I made an extra one. So I did some of the little rose trims and more bows and just kind of fixed it up. I did a lot of rub-on the background to give it something to look at. Because it was plain. I finished up these. I mean, I didn't put any ladies on them, but they was my scrap of material pile. And I went ahead and used that. And I'll probably send these out in Happy Mail in a few days. And yeah, just kind of did this, that, and the other. I tried to do color schemes together. Now here's the ones that did have the ladies. I showed you those though. And that was the ladies that I printed wrong. So that's what happened with them. And my other thing that I have done is these. I've been trying to do a few more paper bag journals for the store. And that's how these turned out. I got the little tuck here. I got the one thing in the end of the bag there. And yeah, both of them are the same. They're just the same. But I did them a little more leniently this time so you can see more of the paper bag. Which she said before I could do some grungy ones with just showing a lot of the bag. So that'll probably be my next couple of items to do. Well, I thank you. Be sure to leave a message down at the bottom here, a comment, so you can get put into the drawing. Tell me how you found me or met me or whatever. And if you have a future video idea that you'd like to see, you can leave that. That's just a bonus. But I really appreciate everybody for coming, for joining, for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, all of the above. Thank you for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, and everybody have a great, great day. Bye-bye.